here's a question, guys. I mean, maybe someone out there knows. Why, okay, this mushroom here, if you look at him closely, he's closed up, right? So if we look at him closely, but he's slowly opening up. Like you can kind of see that it's slowly opening up. Do we think that he's closed up because there's an issue with the water parameters, or is it the fact that the crabs have been climbing on him? Yeah, anyways, if anybody knows, let me know. Haven't had a chance to test the water, but anyways, I felt this guy was a pretty good deal. He was like a $300 like mushroom, but I got him for about 60 Canadian bucks. So not too bad. Not too bad. But yeah, that's where we are. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to test the salinity. That's what we're going to do. So I'll show you how I do that. All right. Okay, hold on. Hopefully we can get it open. Okay, let's get this going. I know you guys probably don't want to just be looking. It's a lot harder to do when you're trying to film the content, but also, you know, test the salinity. So anyways, this is the salinity meter itself. And as I said, I picked this up at the aquatic store. They told me I needed this Sybon instrument. They were like, hey, this is what, like, you know, science people use. So if you want to get an accurate reading and you don't want your livestock to die, then do it, right? So anyways, came in this like fancy container. It's like a hard container. And let me show you guys what we're doing. So this is the refractometer. What we're trying to do is, again, get a reading or a specific gravity reading under 1.25. We don't want to have huge changes. So I think it's 1.20 to 1.25. So again, what we do, it came with one of these guys, okay? So we get a tiny bit of water there. And then we put it on this guy here. Okay, and then we're gonna flip that guy there, squirt that water back in, scare the clowns. And then what we do, I wonder if this would work. I doubt it. I don't know too much about refractometers, but anyways, we take this guy outside. You guys are gonna come with me outside, and I gotta look through the light, and I'll tell you the reading. All right, so let's do it. Okay. So we're at, 1.025. So the salinity, again, you got to look through that. Okay. So 1.025. So I could water it down just a tiny bit, add a little bit of water, and that'll help dilute things. So, I mean, dilute the salt, right? Because the idea, I mean, this was hard for me to wrap my head around initially, because when you're dealing with fresh water, you just get the water, you let it sit, you throw it in the tank, right? But in this case, you have a water line. You want to pay attention to that, right? So if you're taking water out, you want to put equal parts in. So if our salinity is 1.025, if we prepare salt water, mix the salt, get the same salinity reading in that bucket, 1.025, then the salinity itself should be fairly stable, right? But in order for us to get it down from 1.025, right? Ideally, we want to be between 1.02 and 1.025. We have to add water to dilute the salt concentration. So anyways, took me a little bit to wrap my head around that, but it isn't that hard. You just gotta have some pre-mixed water. That's why those guys have and recommend auto top-offs that are fancy. You have your water, pulls the water from. So you got a reservoir down here or down there. Then I'd pull the water in, right? Into the tank. But since we don't have that, we're just gonna add it manually. But that said, guys, it looks stable. The next thing I'll do, likely tomorrow, is just test the water parameters, make sure we're all right. Because as I said, we had one of our snails, or at least 2 of them are gone, but I see little bits of something floating around. So if the water quality isn't stable, then we'll have to do, I don't know, maybe a 20% water change. So it really depends on what the readings come back in at. But as you see here, maybe it was the light. Maybe it was the crabs. But it's expanded again. So, yeah, I mean, this is it. This is the game. You know, trying to keep things together, keep things clean. There's our goby. He ran away. He's quick. The pistol was out as well, but he's quick to shoot in. I think the only way to do it is if I feed them, then you'll see them. But as we see, we got a little bit of dirt. Probably got to clean that, and right here as well. Anyways, thanks guys. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions or recommendations, let me know. Thank you.